Hello, hello, hello. A very warm welcome to all our friends, viewers, stakeholders, fans of Africa Rise with Susan West. It is a brilliant Saturday here in London. And I do hope that wherever you're joining us from, that you've had a pleasant day and that the atmosphere right where you are is very conducive. So, as you join us, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Today, we're doing the final round of um, um, Black History Month. And today we're going to have Dr. Sumtende Adeyantso-Chaba. I do hope that I got that right. She will correct me when she comes on. So we're going to have very interesting and educative conversation today. As you join this broadcast, do the needful with ease, share, 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 invite your friends, and send in your questions and comments as you may have them. So if you haven't liked, followed, or subscribed to our channels, it is Africa Rise TV on YouTube, Africa Rise TV on Facebook, and Africa_Rise.tv on Instagram. So really quickly share, invite your friends, and be part of the conversation. Send in your comments and questions. Really quickly, we'll go straight to Dr. Adeyantso-Chaba.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Sumtende. I
Yes,
need you to help me pronounce your name so that it will be easy flow for me next time.
yes. Usually that's a difficult name. Not really a difficult name, but if you're a Bantu, you should be able to call my name properly. You
Right.
just need to separate them into three syllabi. Some, 10 day, some 10 day, and the young so the same thing, and the young so Chaba.
Right.
So it's easy if you do that. So
Okay.
yeah, it's nice having me, Susan, on your show this evening.
It's my pleasure, and
Yeah.
I'm honored that you're able to make our time to be with us. So, really quickly, I know that you do so many, many things, so many that I cannot even begin to name them. But if you could quickly introduce yourself to our viewers, the things that you do, everything that you do that is your professional life, please go ahead.
Oh. Well, you already know my name. I am right now. I am the current chair of the ADDI UK. ADDI is African Diaspora Development Institute. We have a global office in the US and we have chapters all over the world. But today I'm not sitting as the chair of ADDI UK. I'm just here to speak about Black History Month. And I'm also a student and I research women in leadership. And I'm researching the life world of African women. And I'm also what will I say? A Pan Africanist because it's just right for us to be Pan Africanist because that's who we are. So I also am a mentor and I'm also an author of some books, young people's book and African women. They wrote a book called African Women Speaking, and I was part of the edition of that book and part of the organizing of the women to write that book, and also help some young people in my area to write their book too. It is called The Sky is the Limit. And I also deal with young people in Africa. I with the virtual environment now, it's easy to actually communicate with people, and I'm communicating with a lot of young people, advising them, mentoring them, and so on. I also engage with women who are farmers, who because I'm a vet, that's my first profession, you see. So I advise women on farming, livestock farming, to increase the what is it called? The household income that goes through women who do this petty kind of trading with keeping livestock and so on. It helps them to increase the household income of the family, and that is very important for people from Africa. So this
Absolutely.
is just yeah, a brief about me.
Thank you. Thank you. That's
Yeah,
a lot to you. But
yeah.
really quickly to the conversation of today, which is Black History Month, its relevance to continental Africans. A lot of Africans don't even know when we're talking about Black History Month. Throughout this month, we've taken out time on the weekend to talk about it. And some
Mm,
people are like, this is the first time I'm actually even hearing about it. So
mm,
if you want to go ahead and just talk about Black History Month
mm.
and its relevance.
Yes, Black History Month. I myself, I just, is this word that you hear and you actually don't know the meaning? Sorry to say that, but for me, the word black itself has dampened the meaning of the occasion Black History Month for me,
Mm,
because there is something that this either professor of history says. His name is Herrick Clark. He says the word on Africans, that is calling Africans black, the word black is a redundant uh, connotation of Africans, because when you say Africa, Africa is already of that color, or the soil color. That's the way I'll put it. Because when you say black Africa, what you're saying, black, it doesn't make sense.
right.
And I don't know why Africans take on a name that has been given to them. Why can't we give ourselves name? Why do I allow somebody else to give you a name? Especially with Africans, names are very important. Names are prophetic. Names have meanings. For example, my name. If you took my name to my village, everybody will just know me just by the name. They will know me, they will know the significance of that name, they will know my status, they will know the hierarchy of my village, they will know everything about me just by the name. So when we come here and then they refer to us as black, what does that even mean? Black does not have a meaning. It is amorphous. It has no place, has no position, has no direction. However, if you use the word, if you say African, immediately your mind goes to a place. You see, it goes back to Africa. If you say African American, your mind goes back to America, and then it goes back that you are linked to an African heritage. But when you say the word you're black, it doesn't carry any weight, it doesn't carry meaning. It is amorphous, it has no culture. But when you say Africa, you have brought in culture there, you have brought in history there, you have brought in knowledge there, you have brought in short, you have brought in identity in there. So I don't know why we would insist on using black. There's nothing in black. African has a history of civilization that flows through the whole of the earth. Africa gave the world civilization that nobody else has done so. We built the pyramid, whether anybody likes it or not. That is an African civilization. And it is this civilization that Africa has shared to the world. You see?
Right.
So yeah. So and it's not just uh, it's not just what is it called? Identity. It tells us where we began. It tells us where we began, you see. So I would have preferred that the people who have named this in Black History Month would have named it African History Month. In
Right.
that way, it is inclusive. It includes Africans, whether you were from the continent, or you were from the African American, or you were from the Americas. It just tells you you're the same people, you see. But when we use the word black, what does it mean? And then in the UK, when you use the word black, there's what this organization they call BIMIS. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, BIMIS.
Beamies.
Black and ethnic
Yes.
minority, what.
Beam.
That word, they use it and they say it's for all black and ethnic minority. You will see Asians there, you will see Chinese there, you will see Africans there. So, but then when you go to the census, you do not see black, you do not see African. You will see, you will not see, that is, you will not see an Asian saying he is black. You will not see a Chinese saying he is black. But when there is a cake to be shared, they will say they are Bimis. When it is all over and there is something to be shared, they will say they are Bimis. When there is nothing to be shared, they will say they are not what is it called? They are not part of Bimis. Why are you giving me black and then eating from it when something is meant for black?
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So Africans must stop accepting everything that anybody just decides to give them. What is wrong with our assertiveness? Why can't we give ourselves name and stick to it? What is this black? Does even black? What's that? That's even number one. It's even a color coding. When you accept being, say, they call you black, you are acknowledging that there is something white. And acknowledging that in the context we are living is saying that there is somebody who is more superior than you. You're saying there's somebody who is there's an ideology that is better than your own. And there is no ideology that is better than your own. You gave everybody on earth civilization. So if only these our intellectuals that go to university and say they have studied and still you don't know what they have studied. They can't even educate us on what they have studied. They can't even see the error in how we are even being portrayed and called. When we behave in certain ways, nobody has taught us why we are behaving even the way we are behaving, because nobody is teaching us anything properly. That is what has happened to us.
Right.
Yes. So how I wish the fathers in the UK or in the US or in Africa should be able to kind of teach us properly to know who we are. In short, it's the question of who are we? Who are
Right.
we? You see, yes, that's what it
Dr.
is.
Sumtende, when you
Yes,
talk
yes.
about why do we allow people to name us? Why can't we name ourselves? Then the question becomes that even Africa is not an African originated name, because according to research, it was named after the man Africanos, who is a white person as well. So how do we go about renaming ourselves and bearing and owning that name and allowing that name to speak for us?
Actually, I would have been thinking we should even go to the first name, which is one of the professors here said, is it alkebolum? He calls it
Akebulon.
Alkebolum. Yeah, that's where we should go back to actually. Not even Africa. The point is that we must call ourselves with the name that befits us, the name that is truly ours. Why at this stage in time, why are we still taking on somebody's identity? We shouldn't. We shouldn't even allow it, especially in this time of our awakening. Awakening and the idea of us going back to Sankofa. If you know what Sankofa means going back. We should go back to our original roots. Then we'll stop calling even Africa, but Alkebulam as it is. But at least with Africa, you know that it is a place. You will just identify that it is a place. But when you use the word black, for God's sake, what does that even mean?
Right.
It doesn't mean anything.
Right. So bringing us back to the topic of today,
yes,
when they say Black History Month, are they really are they actually referring to us as well, continental Africans, or is just the Caribbeans and the African Americans?
Yes, I think in the UK they are more or less celebrating the African Caribbeans that came here. I'm not sure they're celebrating Africans here, but because of the awakening as well, I would say that should be merged. And we should begin to see ourselves as one now. We should begin to identify ourselves as one, because there is an awakening going on and we need to come together. There's no point separating ourselves and then saying where we want to be respected, we want to be known, and so on and so on. Then we have to name ourselves properly, and then we have to organize properly to go back home. That's the way I would see it. Although not many people have woken up already, so we'll still be helping them to wake up. That's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to go ahead to ask you, as
Mm.
a continental African living in the West, how would
Mm.
you compare your life as a Black person? Do you feel appreciated living in the West? And if you do feel appreciated, what are the areas that you can compare? You can bring together, and of course also highlight the difference as to how life would have been if you were back home and we had been able to develop our societies to the point where we don't have to necessarily always look for greener pastures or a more secure environment to go and live abroad other than back home.
Actually, for me, why I am in abroad, or why I'm in the UK, I would say it's not something I planned. It's not something I planned. At the same time, I'm not somebody is crazy about coming to stay in the West. A lot of people would die to come and stay in the West, but not me. That's why I say it's by chance that I'm here. And this chance, and I'm not saying thank you, Lord, for being here, or thank you, Lord, for not bringing me here or bringing me here. It's like it is the same thing. If I were in Nigeria, I would still thank the Lord for many things. But that does not mean I'm thanking him because here is better or there is better. I'm somebody that I feel that I can be anywhere and enjoy my life, and I'll thank God in that place. I don't have to go out of Nigeria before I thank God for anything. In fact, I have a better life in Nigeria than I have here. That is the unfortunate thing. A lot of people think that coming to abroad is the, I don't know, is the end of the world or something like that. My life in Africa was much better than my life here. You see. So I don't know. Some people will think I'm exaggerating, but no, my life in Africa is better than my life here, and
So
that's because a lot of people. I don't know. I don't know how I will say this, but a lot of people think abroad is more interesting than home, but it's because they have not experienced what they have to do to stay comfortably here. That's why they're saying that. When you come and then you have to do all the rubbish job to feel to even have a decent life here, then you see that it is not worth it. I don't know. You see that it's not
yeah.
worth it. Yes. But it's all because you've no prior experience of it, so you don't know. So you come hoping that things will be well, but it is not, because you don't know what will happen, and it's a more difficult life here. To make exactly the wealth that you have at home here is more difficult. I don't know. You
So
agree with me, isn't it?
I do, of course. I do agree with you
Mhm.
100%. So, how would you help to disabuse the minds of people back home who, no matter how much we say, they feel like, so why are you there then? Why are you
Mhm.
there if it's
Yes.
if it's all that bad? How would you go about disabusing the minds of such people? Because we've seen a lot of continental Africans and we see the way they live.
Mm,
Some of us have not even um, um, struggled
mm,
half of the struggles they face. Some of us have not even come close, even though we're here, but we
mm,
know how
mm,
difficult it is and how deluded some people's minds back home is as to the sort of life their family or friends or
mm,
connections, the kind of life they live.
mm,
And we want to begin to help to disabuse these um, dream world that they live in, that make them put their friends and their family under so much pressure who live abroad? How would you begin to disabuse their minds in letting them really understand the
I
truth
think,
about living abroad?
yeah, I think the job is with us here. So, like, we're in this organization, we need to find a way of publishing things that will enable people who are coming to know that when you come to this country, this and this and this and this and this and this. Because we that came here, we're hoping that things will be better, but then we go deeper into the frustration and they're working it out and working it out. But if we wrote these things down and the steps and what you were likely to face and why you're facing it, then they would either prepare themselves before they come, or when they come and they know after 1, 2, 3 they're not getting it, it's better to pack up and go home rather than getting on and stay to 5, 10 years before you're settled. And even when you're settled, it's not you're settled to some fantastic thing. You just settle with some meager thing. If you're at home, you would. And I wonder why a doctor will leave Nigeria and even come here, and then you don't get to be a doctor and you're still
Right.
here.
Right.
It's pointless. It's either you within 2, 3 years, if you can't be that doctor here, you either change career or you go back home and be a better doctor. Yeah, rather than
Absolutely.
wasting time here. So it's all depends on us to be able to, and even our embassies. I don't know what our embassies are doing. They're supposed to be doing this research and actually telling their people what it is like. When you come this place, this is what you will face. That's what the embassies are supposed to do. The information they're supposed to be giving out.
Well,
But
when the embassies cannot do very much, if the head is not right, the body will be sick. So back home, the government and the governance is absolutely rubbish. So we cannot even expect so much of what can happen, in the
yeah,
branches that bear, same fruit.
yeah,
So
that's
absolutely.
mm,
So thank you, Charles Adeneye and Theodora Igwe. Theodora Igwe said something that's interesting that I remember. She says, calling ourselves, no, what's that? She did mention, yes, she said, calling ourselves black is acknowledging there is something white. Okay, she's now, reiterating what you had said earlier. And then she goes ahead to say, but Akebulan is a Roman name as well.
no, but it is. Yeah, she may say that, but the point is the Akebolum and even Africa is a word that you can easily see the different aspects of you. But the word black is something so blank. The word Africa is a continent. It's not even a country. It's a continent. That means there are countries in it. And of course, Africa. We are about 3,000 cultures in Africa. And each tribe or each nation of Africa has many cultures within it. There's so much to learn within it. So it tells you already that what you have in the word Africa is massive. But when somebody tells you black, he has just blindfolded you and blindfolded every other person from seeing you. That's what it is. If I say you're black, what does that even mean? It doesn't say you have a culture. It doesn't say you in fact, it just refers you to what they want people to see. Yes, it just tells them, oh, this Africans that in fact, it doesn't even refer them to anything, because they won't even say, is this Africa? They'll say these slaves. There's some people called slave and called black somewhere. That's what it will mean. Meanwhile, Africa is a place that has the first civilization. The pyramids are there to tell that story. The Kush is there as a kingdom. A lot of things came from Africa. So so for our children to be proud of themselves is to know that they are connected to Africa, that has a culture that has given the world civilization, that taught the world how to be human, that even gave the world the religion that we're having today. It is African spirituality that is evolved into Christianity, that has evolved into Islam, that has evolved into Buddhism, that has evolved into many things. Africa gave the world many things. Instead of revering us as gods, no, they'll rather stamp on us and make us want to make us slave. But a time has come. Awakening has started. It will not continue. And that awakening is now.
It's now.
Mm-hmm.
Not many Africans even know all this. Because when you look at many African traditional religions or practices, and then you look at the Old Testament practices, you cannot but begin to see the similarities in you know, the different acts and, you know.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard of the laws of Ma'at?
The laws of Ma'at.
Ma'at. There are 42 laws of Ma'at. Basically, those 42 laws of Ma'at, from it, the 10 commandments were taken.
Mm-hmm.
And Ma'at existed before the 10 commandments. So what do you say to that?
Mm-hmm. This is why I love this program. Yes. Because this is where we come and then something comes and we're like, oh, and then we go and look it up and then our minds are open.
Africa has a relationship with God. God lives inside of the African. If African does not have to prove God anywhere, God is within him. God is within her. That's why they say we're spiritual people. Mm-hmm. That is because Africa, even in her cosmology, she believes that there is what we call the source being. That source being, which we call God today, is called a source being. A being that is bigger than any other thing. You can't even imagine. That source being is within them and is within nature. That is why Africa has preserved nature. She does not destroy nature. She works with nature. Africa have worked with nature such a way that we preserve it so well until people who think they know came in with ideology of capitalism to destroy the environment, and now the earth is raging because of climate change. Why? Because we're overexploiting, we're overeating, we're overdoing things to the earth. We're not respecting the earth as it should. But the African respects the earth because God is in him and is in the creation as itself. You see?
Wow.
When we do not respect all of this, this is what comes to us. But the time has come that we have to take the whole world back to its origin. We have to Sankofa.
We have to Sankofa. Mm-hmm. I love the word Sankofa so much. Mm-hmm. I watched a movie on Netflix the other day, Sankofa. I just couldn't get the word out of my head. You know, it's so African, it's so sweet, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it means going back. We have to go back to the origin.
Yes.
Yes, we've lost it. We've lost it. We have to go back. The whole world has to go back. And we Africans who know what it is will be the one to take us back. Yes. It's not now that they'll be on TV and all the royalties will say, oh, we've destroyed the environment. Let's go back to this and that. You destroyed it because of your gluttony, your greed.
Absolutely.
Africans lived in harmony with nature and respected. They took only what they needed. They didn't lavish. It's uncalled for. They didn't lavish, you see.
That's part of the reason why capitalism destroyed the world,
yes,
if you ask me. Because the gluttony is something that emanates from the practices of capitalism.
Oh, that's it. You
Yes,
pack Africans as slaves to go and work somewhere, push them into cities, build long skyscrapers. After we get so sick and depressed, then you manufacture medicine to take care of us again, and then round around we're doing the. In short, we're just killing ourselves slowly.
right.
What's that?
African Mystery says, "Wow, who would have thought it inspired the Ten Commandments?" I think he's talking. He must be referring to
To my art.
Ma'at. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And there's a long read I'm going to take shortly, but I want to quickly ask you, how do we go about having, when we do come into this part of the world from all the different African countries as qualified people, as degree holders, some of us master's degree holders, but then we come here and our certificate is not respected. They have to look at it, weigh it a certain way, and they are the ones to decide where you fall under, even if you want to continue your education here in this country. So how do we begin? Because I have seen a lot of qualified doctors and lawyers who come here and are forced to live a life that is the least, inspiring. Sometimes some of them give up, others, a few of us keep pushing and fight to the point where we're at a place that is, seemingly where we should be, So
the problem here they're using a different system. The system of getting skills is not about the system of your qualification. Qualification is just a baseline, but skills is what they want. When they advertise for a job, you see job specification and job job
experiences.
Yeah, specification and job description, right?
Description.
Okay. Yeah, description and specification. You are supposed to match your skills with those specifications. That means if you have never done something to acquire that skills to match, then you will not be taken. And that is why people who are here, you always see them looking for voluntary work to do, and so on and so on. A lot of Africans don't do voluntary work. They rather sit at home and think it's waste of time.
Yes.
Not doing that voluntary work. But that voluntary work is what gives you the skills that you can tie to those specifications.
Absolutely.
And be able to convince the people that this is what I have done. I do this and this is what I've done. So and they don't mind that it has to be a paid job. You have to just demonstrate that skill was acquired under certain circumstances that was recognized. And that helps you. And then there are some other professional courses that you need to retrain. As a medical person, there are differences in countries and ways they practice. So there has to be like a conversion from where like tropical medicine is different from temperate medicine. So you cannot just jump in. So there are these conversion courses. You have to get your mind to do it before you come, or when you're here, you do it and acclimatize. It's a way of acclimatizing and getting into their system here. Yes. So Africans don't understand that. While in Africa, you just see a kind of a CV. If you look at it, you feel like crying. It's a sorry state kind of CV. I graduated with this. I have masters in this. And so what? What have you done with those knowledge? That knowledge that you do, where have you applied it? Have you worked in a chamber with a solicitor, and what did he ask you to do? Those things he asks you to do, those are the skills you are acquiring. You see? So it is not just about paper. A lot of Africans have plenty of degrees, but when they go to interviews, they fail because they cannot demonstrate their skills. So a simple way of demonstrating your skill is to In fact, if you're a wise person, look for the kind of job you want to do. Look at this job specification and look at all the things they're asking. When you go to look for like voluntary work, try to see those skills that they're looking for, whether you are really acquiring them in those places.
Right.
So that when you're now filling a form, you are able to match them.
Absolutely.
Yes, then they'll call you for interview. That's
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a situation where we come here with the wrong mindset because we have
Exactly,
a qualification from back home. I remember when I first came in here, after a little while, I was doing voluntary work because I wanted to have the experience. Because coming on holiday in a country is totally different from living and working in that country. And so I realized that I had to gain experience, and it didn't matter if I got paid a penny. I was so happy, because I wanted to learn, I wanted to know. And that, of course, gave me the leeway to then, add that to my CV. I've met a lot of Africans who will never, no matter what you say to them, they don't want to spend time doing voluntary work for anything.
Oh, no, that you have to do. Yeah, you have to do.
I'm quickly going to take this read. It's a long one. Charles Dunaya says, thank you so much, Doctor. Can I also add that it was also due to reluctancy of our brothers and sisters who left the shores of Africa involuntarily due to slavery. Up until the late 60s, African Americans, for example, referred to each other as Negro or blacks, until people like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Muhammad Ali, Kwame Nkrumah, and many more Pan-Africans began to chip away at the shackles of the name Black people by educating their people of their African origin to embrace their culture and identity as Africans.
No, well, we're saying the same thing. You can see the historical movement of it. Yeah. So, and that's why I'm wondering why at this time and age that we still be using the word Black History Month. No, we should be using. You know where you're coming from now. You know what they did to you. You should shed that by now. And call yourself by the proper name, because it puts you in a position where you know who you are, your identity, your culture, your everything. It tells your children where they come from, and that is what inspires them to be confident and to be who they are. You see,
and then
like
go ahead, finish your thoughts.
Yeah. But it's like in the UK, it's as if the Africans here are proud to say they're Black British. What is that? Yeah. Black British. The word even is disgusting. Black British. It just shuts down many things. The possibilities that people would have known about you, it's shut down. Yes. And you can't see that has been shut down.
I think it's high time we begin to correct.
That is
when we're referred to as Black people. I think it's high time, even as individuals, we need to say, no, I'm not Black, I'm African.
It's not that the point is not because you're not Black. The point is that you want to take people to a reference point. You understand? When you say an African, of course it is Black people that are in Africa. So, but when you say Africa, the people should be able to know that, yes, the people that are in Africa are Black. But you're not going to say Black, because when you say Black, there are people who are even blacker than Black that are in Asia. Yes, but they don't go calling themselves, I am Black. No, they say I'm Asian, I am Chinese, and so on. That's why I'm telling you that people who use BIMIS, when they like to use it, but when it comes to census form, they are Chinese, they are Asian. It is only it's only on the column where there's a column that there is Africans that is called Black there. Why is that so? And you're all from BIMIS. When did they become Black, and when did they become Chinese and become Asians? You understand? So they're using you. Can't you ever come as one people? We are 1.7 billion people on earth, for God's sake. Why should we allow any other community determine who we should be, what we
Yes.
should be, and so on? Time
And
has
so,
come to stop that rubbish,
mhm,
and the time is now.
right. The time is now. And so
Mhm.
finally, what is the relevance? Is it any relevance to us when the British Prime Minister comes on television, celebrating Black History Month, and then he names names and even names continental Africans who have contributed to the development of society here. So finally, how relevant and what is the relevance of Black History Month? Has it been impactful? What difference has it made for
No,
us?
there is no doubt about our achievements. There is no doubt about that. African people have achieved in the whole wide world and has achieved even in the UK. Yes. So we are celebrating that. It's just that we don't like the name covering us up. You understand? Yeah, he can name all of that, but when he uses the word black, somebody in India hearing that name self will not even know whether the person he's talking about is from Africa or something like that. You understand? So that name should be removed. Africa should be the generic name. Africa, if you want to attach history to it, and you say African Caribbean or you say African American, it still gives
The
the
reference.
origin, it gives the
Yes.
reference. You
Yes.
see, but if not, it is amorphous. It means nothing. You see, that's what we are saying. And so, but a lot of achievement has been done with black. There are a lot of what is it called? Doctors in the UK working here. There's a lot of sports people here. There are a lot of musicians here. There are a lot of cultural importation or impacting, or that Africans from both the diaspora and the African of the formerly enslaved and the Africans from the continents have impacted on this in Europe in general and the whole world. In fact, I can't just even be talking about Europe, the whole world. Africa is found everywhere. We are builders. That is our nature. We are priests. We are kings. That has been destroyed. We are spiritual people. That is our religion. They're going up and down, running with it, saying, calling it Christianity and calling it Islam and all that. It is all ours. We need to reclaim them back.
Absolutely. Big Sam Ofe says, I believe we should not be tagged as BAME because we all have different identities, cultures, and challenges. And so, finally, do you think that Black people, especially in the Western world, are really appreciated, especially continental Africans? Do you think that the government, the society, really do appreciate us?
They say so with their mouth, but they're not doing what it takes to show that they're appreciating. You understand? The policies and the systems in place is against us. You see? Police brutality, what is that? Why are you stopping somebody just because of his color? Why are you interrogating somebody just because of his color? He said, you should know me by the content of my character. Not by my skin. And that's the whole point. When you're called black, that is what it is. The police sees you black, and he has a definition of black in his head.
Yes.
So you're black, so you must have been doing A, B, C, D. You see? Or you're white, so you must have been an angel. No. In fact, most of all the angels are white people, as far as I'm concerned. You see? Or all the demons are white people, as far as I'm concerned. If not, you will not go to another man's country, pack them as slaves, brutalize them, change their culture, change their spirituality, change their identity, and then call them black when they have a culture. Who is that? Not children of devil that does a thing like that?
After being the devil or an angel, like Dr. Arikana says.
I'm quoting from her now. I'm also
getting
inspiration from her. I like to listen to her. I like to listen to Professor Lumumba. I
Right.
like to listen to Young Tore. I like to listen to Maponga Je,
Yeah.
King Maponga. I like to listen to you too. Uh, and then Daily TV, Dr. Tata. I
Yeah.
like to listen. These are quality information hubs that Africans should be listening to.
Yes.
So, because I am here, I would also like to say, uh, as vice chair of the ADDI UK, I would like to ask you or request you to join us and also to be a media outlet for us as well. I'll be telling my chair about that. He will be contacting you, and also the what's it called, the communications director, because there's a lot of things to be done. Our movement has to go on, and we need outlets like yours and many more to make that
Absolutely.
happen. Yes.
Absolutely. We're already in the one for the world, the worldwide one. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, of course, absolutely. So finally, before you go, your final thoughts. Just talk to us, continental Africans, diasporas, the diaspora, Black diaspora, African diaspora. Yes. So we begin to change the way we refer to ourselves consciously. Yes. So once in a while, it will pop up like that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
that's
been there
true.
forever. But we
Yeah.
need to make a conscious effort to refer to ourselves, at least for now, as Africans and not Black people, and
Mm-hmm.
let them understand, especially when we're referred to as Black people, what it connotes is not who we are. To be an angel or to be a demon is in the content of character and the way you treat other people, and not just your melanated skin or a white skin that makes you an angel or a demon. So
Yeah.
finally, your thoughts.
Yes. So yeah. So it is our content of our character indeed. Um, Thank you very much for inviting me for this show. And I just want to say, yes, the movement has started, and I must say that the Black History Month is actually an African History Month, because Africans from the continents have made contribution. Africans from the Caribbean have made contribution. Africans from the America has made contributions, and Africa all over the globe have made contributions. So it is African History Month. Uh, and then for the African coming from the continent, you need to do a little bit of research before you pop up here. Understand it before you come here, so that you don't go round and round wasting your time. Apart from that, do you know that Africa is the richest continent on earth? But because we have set our mindset, we have agreed to be called by a different name. We have agreed to say we are lower in the food chain. That is why we are confused and doing round and round stuff, because we have resources that no one on earth has. So we need to awake, and the time is now to awake, come together, and do something purposeful and meaningful. Because when you don't do something purposeful and meaningful, people disrespect you. Why
Mhm.
are we disrespected? Is because we are not organized. And when we get organized, and we know who has given us a platform to get organized, her name is Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwao. She's given a platform called the African Diaspora Institute. We're able to come together under that umbrella to do a lot of things for ourselves and to the mother continent. So it's time for us to come together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sumtende. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, I know how you had to make sure that you made it here today with your
Yes.
busy schedule. We're really grateful. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, that was Dr. Sumtende Adeyantso-Chaba. I love her name. I'm going to keep practicing to say it and I'll get it right. Yeah, so today we just wanted to round up on the conversations we've been having about Black History Month. And like Dr. Chaba said, it should be referred to as African History Month because continental Africans, Caribbean Africans, African Americans, and all Africans around the world have made contributions to the development of society all around the world. And we have made the most impact when it comes to civilization. She did mention about how even the Ten Commandments, originated from the, what's it called? The Mahats. Is it? um, emanated from the 42 laws of the Mahat. So these are things we should go and research for ourselves and understand what a sophisticated people we are. They've told us lies, now we know. Now we're beginning to disabuse our mind. We're beginning to, peel the onions. The more we peel, the more we see another layer of us. And as we continue to expose the layers, they become even more beautiful, fresher and fresher. So yes, I know that a lot of people joined late because they were expecting that we're going to come on live tomorrow, but we did come on live today because we wanted to accommodate our guest who is engaged tomorrow at another event. So yes, as you joined, if you've joined late, rewatch and then share. Sinovia Ridley, darling, I know you would have turned up if you knew we were coming on. You probably didn't see the you didn't notice when we scheduled the broadcast for today. Yes, Tunji Big Sam, thank you, Charles Aduneye, thank you, African Mystery, Theodora Igwe, and thank you all. I cannot see all your names, of course, unless you have put in a comment here. So I look forward to seeing you next weekend. But remember, do the needful. Remember that you should be referred to first of all as African and not as Black, because the word Black connotes everything negative, and we are not what they say we are. We should begin to rename ourselves, like Dr. Chaba said. We are the only ones that allow other people to name us. We should name ourselves and own that name and reflect that name and let that name be us. So as we go moving forward, we will get to that point where we have the power and opportunity to do so. In the meantime, I love you all. God bless you. I will see you next weekend. Remember that our culture, our history is so rich. We have to dig deep, to continue to unmask, all the lies that we were sold. Okay, see you next weekend. God bless you. Remember to like, follow, subscribe to all our channels. It is Africa Rise TV on YouTube, Africa Rise TV on Facebook, Africa_Rise.tv on Instagram. Bye-bye. See you next